Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookahanonymous_. Alright? We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at hookahanonymous_. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, there's been a break in BTB Savage's case as the suspect known as Montrell Leonard Burley, who's accused of being one of the two suspects in the murder of Savage, has finally surrendered to Houston police. We did a story when the news first broke about Burley being a suspect before, but made it very clear that he wasn't arrested as of yet. He was just identified and charged. Now the details that they have are kind of crazy, and honestly he's either going to snitch or going to remain silent and I guess just do his time. Either way it goes, they have straight evidence that correlates him with the murder of BTB Savage. I always tell y'all the feds don't play, and usually when they pick up your case, they come to get you. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You know, now, here's the thing. I've been given some information about this whole situation, and honestly, from my understanding, the suspects and victims in both cases between Omar Richardson's death and BTB Savage's death, they all know each other some way, somehow. You know, I'll do another separate video on that. You know, I found it pretty interesting. So like I said, I'm gonna, kind of put that together in a whole different video. But as of right now, I also want to get into the ABC 13 news article describing how the suspect Montrell Burley was caught, because some things kind of don't make sense to me, on his behalf. And I want to hear from you guys what y'all think about it as well. Now the good thing though is they got a head start in this case as they already have one suspect, whereas I'm sure the next one will be captured pretty soon. But anyway, let's get into this article, this ABC 13 article. Now it says, quote, "The man accused of shooting and killing a rapper near River Oaks is in custody, according to Houston police. Montrell Leonard Burley, 40 years old, is charged with the murder of Daryl Gentry, 26 years old, who used the artist name BTB Savage." Now, Houston Police Department said Burley surrendered to authorities at the Harris County Joint Processing Center on Tuesday. In a court appearance Tuesday, the state requested no bond for Burley. Meanwhile, Burley's attorney requested a $20,000 bond. Now, the judge ultimately chose to set Burley's bond at $1 million, and she noted that only a district court judge can deny a bond, which will require a hearing. Now, the judge said a previous conviction for failing to appear in court while out on bail presents a flight risk. The judge also said the court is concerned because of the distance Burley allegedly traveled to avenge the death of his friend. Now, for y'all that don't know what a flight risk is, that's pretty much them not trusting you as an individual to let you out of the court. So if they got you, it's up to their discretion to let you out on bail or bond and, let you fight your case from the outside because you got like a clean background. Now, in Burley's case, he doesn't have a clean background, as the judge pointed out, that he missed a court date on a separate case in his, his prior cases or whatever charges that he had before that he was fighting. He missed a court date, and usually when you do something like that, you're considered a flight risk because they think you're trying to avoid, coming to court. So it also says here, it says, quote, "Burley's attorney said the suspect previously lived in Houston, but had been living in the New Braunfels area for the past 2 years. If Burley posts his bond, he must wear a GPS monitor. He must also surrender his passport and remain in Texas for the duration of the case." Now, court records made public on Monday show Burley was under arrest and in custody the day after the deadly shooting, but was released, which is kind of crazy. But it says Burley was reportedly arrested and charged with narcotics possession during a traffic stop in New Braunfels on March 31st. He was a passenger in the same vehicle that police believe was used in the shooting at 2100 Mid Lane on March 30th. Court records show he had rented it. When police started asking Burley about the vehicle, records show he requested an attorney and ended the interview. It's unclear how or why he was released. Documents show Burley was a close friend and fellow gang member of Omar Richardson. In the interview days before his murder, Gentry described how his girlfriend shot Richardson in self-defense during a robbery at their home in San Antonio in February. Gentry was present and also injured. San Antonio police had apparently said the shooting was justified, and I'm assuming that's because they felt it was self-defense. Now on social media, Gentry posted photos of himself at the bloody crime scene just hours before he was killed in Houston. The court records, police tied the two murders together, citing retaliation. Now, on the day of Gentry's murder, police identified the suspect vehicle as a black Subaru Outback. Records show they tracked it via license plate camera to Burley's address in New Braunfels, and when they searched it after the traffic stop, records show they found a shell casing similar to what was found at the crime scene in Houston. Also, hour-by-hour cell phone data on the day of the murder showed Burley's phone in the area at the time of the shooting in Houston. It says according to a police investigation timeline, they did not have the cell phone data when Burley was in custody. Police believe an unknown second suspect was involved. Now, here's what we learned. Right? We learned that Burley was actually caught in the same getaway vehicle used during the murder a day after, but was later released right after due to them not having certain details of the vehicle until afterwards. Right? Now, when you pay attention to the evidence that they have, man, like I stated before, he's pretty much caught. You see what I'm saying? They tracked him via license plate back to the home where I guess he stayed at. They searched his vehicle and found a shell casing similar to what was found in the crime scene. And then not only that, but cell phone data on the day of the murder showed Burley's phone in the same area at the time of the shooting. So it's like, it's no getting around any of the evidence that they have, man. They got pure evidence. It's not he say, she say. It's not, oh, he said this or none of that. This is what actually pins him to the area of the crime scene. He has the same bullets that was involved in the shooting. What more do you need? You know, and he was in the same vehicle. Now, here's the few questions that I have that kind of didn't make sense to me, right? And when I say make sense to me, I mean on Montrell's behalf, Burley's behalf, or whatever. If you know that you were just involved in a murder, not just a crime, any old crime, a murder, why are you still driving around in the same car that you used to get away from the crime scene, as if there wasn't going to be no footage, no surveillance? You know, they did it in the area where you know 100% somebody caught you on camera. You know, whether it was a store, whether it was a witness, whether it don't matter who it is. Not to mention, it was all over the news, the type of car he was in, you know, and they said he rented it. So at the end of the day, why didn't you ditch the car? You know, that just doesn't make sense to me. You know that they know knowledge, or they have knowledge of the car that you was in. Why didn't you ditch the car? Why didn't you take the car back to the rental place or something? Why are you still joyriding in a car that was just used in the commission of a murder? That just doesn't make sense to me. Then they say he was traveling with narcotics, I guess marijuana. To be honest with you, and I don't want to put nothing out there, let's just say allegedly, but this could possibly be a part of what was taken from BTB Savage's apartment, because rumor has it that allegedly BTB Savage was also involved in selling pounds of marijuana, according to the rumor, let's say that, the rumor of Omar Richardson's sister, you know, who stated that her brother was killed in a drug deal gone bad, where she alleged and claimed that Savage was trying to rob Omar, and that's the real story. You know, so like I said, I'm not really sure what's going on. It's just a lot that doesn't make sense, especially on Montrell's behalf. And his mugshot kind of looks a little different from the one that was released. I guess that was a younger version of him. Who knows? It's just a lot going on. But at the end of the day, man, I'm still puzzled why he was joyriding in the same car that he used in the commission of the murder. You know, obviously these guys aren't smart, and his attorney is going to have to do a lot to kind of get him off this, if he does. I'm pretty sure he's not. The feds don't play. They're not coming to ask you if you had any involvement. They're telling you was involved, and as you can see, they have nothing but accurate information. The cell phone data, that you can't get around that. You can't get around the same bullet that, you know, they recovered from the scene, and you can't get around being in the getaway car. What was you doing in that car? And it was registered to him because they said that he rented it. It was in his name. So this is going to be a tough one, man. I can already see 9 times out of 10 you're probably going to tell on the second suspect, and whoever set him up or whichever one of BTB Savage's friends that had something to do with setting them up or whatever the case may be. Whoever y'all are, man, y'all better just get away and get away fast while you can, because them people is coming. Simple. All right, as of right now, that's pretty much it, man. I guess I got one foot in the door when it comes to breaking this case. Montrell Burley, he is in custody, and now they're looking for a second suspect. All right, y'all jump in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.